across the ocean, to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on.
Representing people, Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability and confidence.
We will condemn this act and call for the immediate release of this minister in the Temple of God.
Give us access to our money we put in the bank.
There are POS operators. She said 3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed.
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. Today on Open Conversation, local government officials from appearing before the assembly. Do not go.
Mr. President, my people.
3,000 is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites. Which are you?
No matter how tough the challenge, how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the daunting. Who can come and salvage us from?
On the happenings around the globe.
Lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what's the blood.
I have fought very firmly. Natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
POS operator. She said 3,000 naira is 1,000 to collect 3,000 naira. Where are we heading to?
I've always said there are two sets of people on earth, the oppressors and the oppressed. And in between are the cowards and the hypocrites.
Back and thank you for staying with us. It's still open conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Joining me on the show this morning is Ugochukwu Oputa, a political analyst. Good morning, Mr. Ugochukwu, and welcome to Open Conversation.
Good morning, Laurentia. Good morning, Nigerians.
I also have with me George Chinda, a political analyst. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning.
You're welcome. And on to the story. The erstwhile governor of Bayelsa State word of advice to the governor of Rivers State, Simlaye Fubara, amidst rift with the Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike. Dixon warned Fubara not to forget the human machinery that helped him take over the office of the #1 citizen of the oil-producing state. The senator gave the warning when he led a team of political and traditional leaders in Bayelsa on a solidarity visit to the Rivers State Government House in Port Harcourt on Monday, May 6th. He urged Fubara to acknowledge and thank Wike for helping him state leadership. His call came amid political developments that threatened the state's stability and progress. Let me start with you, Mr. Ugochukwu. What do you make of the call by Dixon to Governor Fubara?
First of all, I would say the the headline or the news item, as per se, is sort of misleading because I am well aware of that visit in Government House, and it was in that visit that the governor made the statement of when those two structures removal of a government that has not even lasted for almost for up to a year. And I think it's that line we can.
One of the basis for the crisis, if you agree with me, was that all the items in peace pact was not signed. So we cannot talk about the crisis in Rivers State without going back to the peace pact. I'm bringing up the peace pact because you brought it up.
Yes.
The governor said that. Now, if I may ask you a direct question, why didn't the governor implement all the agendas in the peace pact? Why didn't he present the budget, one? And secondly, the local government elections.
The reason why he signed the peace pact.
Did he fulfill all?
Exactly. So the reason why, now I'm portraying why the governor sort of is taking this, that Edison Ehie had a case in court, not the governor. Edison Ehie withdrew his case. The assembly case was still in court. So if we're talking on the basis of fair action on the point of instance, both cases should have been withdrawn by the both parties. Before you now talk of...
Okay. Now let me... What do you make of this advice by Dixon? And, you know, so far the governor has made efforts because has he made efforts? Do not forget that the Governors Forum, one of the agreements
from the Governors Forum time.
Yes.
Now, I don't know the reason for that deliberate sectionalization, you know, choosing to weigh the governor from the time at which the Governor Forum asked him to come back. But however, prior to the crisis in October 30th, you know, up to the point showing effort like you had. Now, after that point when the governor...
When you say efforts, can you outline them?
Yes, I can outline. Right. He signed an unconstitutional peace pact.
The question, like now, I asked, did he fulfill all?
No, you asked
that he did that led to Dixon's advice. Has the governor so far embarked on the journey of peace? You said yes, You started from the Peace Pact, and I asked you questions around the Peace Pact.
Yes.
Now, we've discussed about the governor's peacemaking efforts.
Yes.
From the Peace Pact.
Thank you.
Now, after that, the issue was not resolved, and the PDP Governors Forum.
That's the point
I gave advice, didn't they?
That's the point
now,
I'm getting
it's only
to now.
fair that I asked.
From that
yes. time, what has the governor done?
I wanted to first of all establish that the governor has put in efforts prior to that time.
You mentioned
exactly.
the Peace
Now, saw that the PDP held the meeting at their secretariat, and then we also
the
heard
National Working Committee.
And then we also heard again.
Said, hold on, let's tell, because it appears you're just removing and adding in a way that makes it sound beautiful. But let's x-ray the
That's
facts.
just the fact.
The facts on the table is that there was a list that was.
Yes.
The second fact, the governor came out to say the list was fake.
Yes, because it was against the agent he approached to.
Third fact,
yes,
there was a court case questioning that list.
Okay.
Fourth fact, the court said stay execution.
Beautiful.
On the list.
Beautiful.
As a result, fifth fact, the PDP National Working Committee cannot do anything to that list, and they had to also make a publication that the list stands as published. The court's injunction.
Beautiful.
So they cannot go, the party is not above go against the law, right? In fact, much later, the same list stands as published, and that's the list that's flying. What it means is this, at least say, is not fake, and it's actually coming from National Working Committee. So these grounds should be between the governor and the National Working Committee. But the question I am asking right now is, from the PDP Governors Forum and the advice given to the governor, has the governor so far, having come back to Rivers State, done anything in the line of this? And you have answered me by saying that the governor is at liberty to either take or refuse.
If you follow the line of argument in this way, you're being
totally
unfair to the governor. Now, why I say you would be unfair to the governor is that, you know, let us look it on remove political bias. The governor have his interest to protect. The minister have his interest to protect.
Fair enough.
The governor would have loved that the whatever caretaker committee that would happen in the state, that he has a huge.
How many names were removed and replaced because names?
Yes.
How many?
From in terms of local government chairman, about in terms of party chairman.
Yes. The chairman, the vice chairman, the deputy chairman, the ward leader, women leader, and all of that.
Now, I'm starting from
how many?
LGA.
How many?
I can't give you the.
It's the main leader I'm talking about, not the LGAs.
Yes. I'm giving you as regards because he cut across LGA chairman, state escorts, because it's from state executive to LGA and ward, and these operations cut across all those strata. In LGA party chairman had publicly shown support with on a visit when they went to the chief of staff last month. Those 14 LGA chairmen were replaced on that list. The governor made this statement. Now, if you're expecting a governor protection of interest and come back and start to work in all good faith, or say let there be peace and all that, then you're telling a man then pursue what you call it, and then try to allay the fears of the other. The governor has his own fears. He's a governor, and when he went to anybody had in case of death, you know, had died in this thing, that person should not be replaced. That means if you have 20 years exposed and 2 had died, you continue the caretaker with 18. And then the governor that not only had additions to the list, but subtraction of his supporters. It's on that basis the governor said it was false. Now, assuming it, and then the other party had their way, come back, say, let there, okay, you hold on, let there be. The governor would first of all make everything possible to protect his interest. And it's on that basis I'm saying this.
Let me say something.
So what you have summarized is that the governor has reasons not to adopt the advice of the governor's
because it was not fair to all parties.
Yes. All right.
Let me say something here. While it is given that the governor is the leader of the political party in the states, the governor is not the administrator, day-to-day operations of that party in the state.
All right. The clerk of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Emeka Amadi, has disowned Governor Fubara's faction of the House of Assembly and his speaker. Amadi, in a statement he personally signed, maintained that Right Honorable Martin Amehule remains the recognized speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The clerk of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Emeka Amadi, further stated that the three members are loyal to Governor.
On December, because I want to give a quick chronological order to the APC, on the 12th of December, Right Honorable Edison Nhie was elected as the speaker on the basis that the 25 House of Assembly member had defected, citing Section 109(1)(g) of the Constitution that states that except where there is division in the party, that if you defect from the party that stands as a vehicle with which you got into that seat, that you cease to be carried out. That this was like a follow-up. And remember that Edison Nhie was elected by in an assembly that had just 4 members. Himself, Okojombo, Sukari Goodboy, and Adolphus. And also, he did not just do that. He had an order by Justice Danagogo that came on the 12th of December, recognizing him as the speaker. Following that, he also, so it's to show you how, on the eyes of the law, Edison was legitimately a speaker of that house. So if INEC is here to conduct an election to fill up those positions, and it's in a chronological order, now you can now say, okay, or cannot claim legality as a speaker, because Right Honorable Edison was recognized as a speaker of the House by Justice Danagogo on 12th of December 2023, where he passed the appropriation bill into law, and that is what is being used for the expenditure and the running of the Rivers State government as we speak. So if that stands, then the position of Okojombo also stands. And nothing has been done contrary as regards those actions that took place last year.
Were you aware that, like the clerk said, that the Edison Nhie faction, they were suspended on the 30th of October 2023?
Yeah, I didn't arm myself.
So how do you build legality on illegality?
I didn't arm myself with the judgment that was given that suspension of a member of parliament can only have INEC to blame for failure to do the needful. And then, if INEC conducts vacancy and you have 25 members of the 26 constituency represented, of course they can decide to say they want to change the leadership of the House.
Now, there's an issue at the national level of the PDP. The secretaryship of that party was zoned to the southeast of the country. There is I don't know if it's from Enugu State or from Ebonyi State, who is also laying claim to that position, secretary of the party at the national level. So that matter is subject to litigation. As I'm talking to you, the matter is still in court, pending in court. So it is for the court to determine whether the 25 members of River State House of Assembly have lost their seat or not. Not my friend.
Because when the Constitution uses shall, is something that the repercussion is almost clear. However, when cases of dispute arise, you now approach court for clarification.
Yes.
You know. However, it doesn't look. It's not.
Court orders. You understand? One recognizing Martin Amehule.
High Court.
Edison, yes. Was from High Court. Now, Edison is acting in that capacity so far. And do not forget, there was another court order also asking the legislature to maintain status quo, stay execution, everybody remain as you are. Now, even though there was a court order recognizing Edison, you will recall that Edison resigned and became the chief of staff to Governor Sim Fubara. And as Martin Amehule recognized, it's not legal. And in the same breath, you cannot say what we have at that time was factional. We have two factions in the House of Assembly. Well, by the resignation of Edison, that faction stopped sitting.
No.
They were not sitting.
Yes, that was the reason for why.
Hold on. They were not sitting. No legislative activity was going on in whatever way.
Of that faction. It's not the resignation of, in quote, that faction. It had members that voted Edison in. So if Edison was recognized and passed a budget and he resigned, then we both agree that there is sort of a judgment keeping both, in quote, using the words of the governor, afloat.
And the governor chose
now.
Mr. Judge will have the floor. Now, there are two factions, right? Because I'm trying to make it make sense to me. I'm trying to wrap it around my head. There are two factions, and one faction is representing 26 constituents in Rivers.
That defected.
And the other, we are not talking of defection. Both of them, from the conversation, there are two court judgments, recognizing both of them. Now, one has 27. And they are representing 27, one is dead. Now, they are representing 26 constituencies. This other one now has 3 factions. Three members.